Well, Lori Watson is the proprietor of Mill Creek Greenhouses out there on Leesburg Road.
You're my fan.
Your fans are legion because, for one thing, last year I had to do a native plant demonstration, and you really like native plants, but you also are still a plant geek, and so you're always getting plants that aren't native too. It's a really nice mixture, and you know, so many people just get kind of bored and always order the same thing. Yeah. But you have it. You're always mixing it up. But this actually is an older and established garden plant from way back, but no one gets tired of it. So tell us what this fabulous thing is.
Well, people know it as a Chinese snowball bush, and then I do have some people come in and say, "I want that white hydrangea bush."
I know. Yeah.
But it's actually a viburnum, macrophyllum sterile, so it's going to put all its energy into its blooms, which it's absolutely showing now.
Yes.
The beauty about this is it can be a small tree, medium-sized tree, limit up, beautiful. I would call it almost semi-evergreen. It just seems to
the foliage does hang on a little bit.
It does, and then it just appears quickly in the spring right after the bloom.
And I think what you said is really important. We're always talking about finding out what the plant, how big it's going to get. Mine got like 25 feet tall. I mean, it can be a beautiful big plant and just be magnificent when it's blooming.
Yeah.
And no pest problems whatsoever.
Not at all.
Gosh.
And then you can just hit it to the ground.
But you have to, or as you said, limit up. But if you limit up, then you can't cut those beautiful blossoms and use them when you want to decorate.
Right, you're right.
And then down here we have a pieris, and a long time ago, those were just limited to people who lived in the upstate, but there are a lot of new cultivars now. So tell me about this one and where it can be grown.
The one I sort of started out learning about was the one called Mountain Fire, which I never thought did fully well here. But the Japanese pieris, it does well here. It'll take our heat and humidity with careful considerations, afternoon shade, a little bit of morning sun. It's a little finicky toward water, so it's not a big water hog. You just want to be careful. But this is a variegated, I had never seen a variegated one. This is called Flaming Silver.
Oh, it's handsome.
It is beautiful, the red growth on it. And that will last until it gets a little bit hot.
And of course that raceme of flowers is so exotic and gorgeous right now. Yeah. But again, this is one that brightens its corner, in a shady corner at that.
Right. Yeah. And it's very slow growing, so it'll get half the size of the other regular
and
Japanese.
So a wonderful thing for some of the new gardens if somebody's got a small little shady area where they like to sit in the
patio.
Summertime. Okay. And then it looks, viburnums, I can now tell them because they're opposite leaves, and so we've got a great looking viburnum, and I think it's a cultivar, a cross between ones that we're familiar with.
Whereas this one will tolerate absolute full blazing sun. This one will want the afternoon shade for sure. It's a cross between David I and Tinus. And
now David I is not really one that does well down here for us.
And we tried one early on. It didn't. The foliage is absolutely gorgeous, but it's just.
So this has that gorgeous foliage, but has the temperament of Tinus.
Tinus, yes, that's a good put. But it only gets about 5 feet tall.
Which is a little bit
smaller, and it's evergreen. And the burgundy stems are gorgeous on it.
And the flowers were hurt a tiny bit, but normally they're not, and it really is such an early bloom. It's fun to have in the yard.
This would have been probably all white now, but it was still pretty.
And then way over there.
Yes, that's a rhododendron. It is a Catawba rhododendron. I looked that up and made sure. But it's called Lee's Dark Purple. It's a hybrid. Wasn't sure of the exact cross, but it will tolerate a little more sun. We are the lowest zone, so it'll take the afternoon shade.
And I've always been told if you want to have rhododendrons in this area, and we're in the Midlands, and this is what I've looked for, always try to be sure that it has Catawba in the title, and that's the genetic gene makeup that makes it able to take some of the heat. And that one is covered with blossoms. I mean buds. It's going to be unbelievably gorgeous.
Yeah, really pretty.
And then this just looks like an exploding fireworks and so much fun.
I know, this is a new little grass. You'll get a little confused over the series, but it's called the Evercolor series.
Yes.
But then they've got Everillo, which is gold, and they've got Everlime, which is a green and gold, and they've got a green and white. But it's a grass, a carex, that seems to just take the wet, the dry, the sun or the shade, and in the shade still stay gold.
And carex, unlike some of our ornamental grasses, carex can take water when many of those can't. And this is evergreen, and so just really think how handsome that would be in a spot, maybe a spot that was a little bit low and damp. You could fill it up with a couple of those. It would just be stunning.
I have it at home, and I remembered this just a little bit ago. I have it at home, and I hardly ever water it, and it's gorgeous.
So it can take, it's just easy.
Very.
Yeah. Now I'm going to skip this and move over here so we can save the
the
pièce de la
blooming.
resistance. And so Nandina, Heavenly Bamboo, of course in my yard they're 20 feet tall because I've got the old ones from a million years ago. But a lot of the newer cultivars that were shorter had kind of unattractive leaf, but this one has a gorgeous leaf shape. Tell me who this is.
It's a Nandina called Lemon Lime, and it'll do a little shade and it'll do sun. I'm pretty sure it would still keep this little lemon lime color, chartreuse color in the shade, but it's only going to get about 2.5 feet tall and wide. So it's a good little pot plant, especially just getting in a gallon.
Yeah.
To underplant it with some black foliage.
Wouldn't that be
really
handsome?
pretty.
Sure would be, yeah. And again, this one doesn't fruit, so you don't have to worry about a little seedling popping up
Right.
here.
I mean, the red berries would be pretty on that,
It
but
would be. But it's beautiful like it is, yeah. And also, this is one of those things, tough. Well, there's not an azalea in Columbia left with a flower on it, but you ran up to Livonia, Georgia.
Yes,
Thank
and I
you
got
so
this
much.
one. This is the Bloomathon. A series, a very simple series, and we've really liked it the last couple of years. It's been around for a while, just not advertised quite as much as other series. But this is a double pink, there's a lavender, there's a white, and there's a red. There's a red also. But they'll stay about the 3 to 4 range.
Oh, so it really has a nice habit.
It does mounded, and it will want the shade, treat it just like one of our southern azaleas.
And we were talking, Davis and you were talking earlier and saying that y'all like this one, that the Encore azalea tends to not give good bloom in the shade, whereas this one is just like our regular old-fashioned azaleas.
Right, and a bigger leaf.
And the leaf is so handsome
it's really
compared to some.
pretty.
Yeah, just beautiful. Well, when are y'all open at Mill Creek Greenhouse?
We are now Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5.
Okay, Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5. And I'm always amazed when I go there because I say, who's going to put this great big plant or pot in the car? And Lori comes over there and she does this and she picks it up. And then I say, who's going to take it out when I get home?
Who's going to dig it in?
Thank you so much for all the beautiful things that you bring and share
It's
to
a
us.
pleasure.
Okay.